Afternoon to all of you. I am Dr. Shatis Bhaskaran from Azman Hashim International Business School, University Technology, Malaysia. I am delighted to share with you our findings for research entitled Accelerating the Creation of Resilient Cities and Citizens Through Digital Inclusion Strategy, a proposed integrated framework. The term resilience has emerged as a new way of thinking and also gained a lot of traction in academic and policy development efforts in recent years. It refers to a dynamic process encompassing positive adaptation and bouncing back from significant adversities. Hence, it has piqued the interest of academics, practitioners, and policymakers for a thorough understanding of the concept while incorporating digital inclusion and transformation as crucial facilitators in achieving it. Result to transition to an integrated approach to city and citizen resilience and to assist interested stakeholders in developing a comprehensive and resilience-based framework. This research is a preliminary attempt to define key concepts surrounding resilient cities and citizens to draw upon a more integrated approach to accelerate resilient city and citizens formation through digital inclusion strategies. Urban resilience was first introduced at the American Annual Conference on Ecology to describe the ability of individuals, communities, organizations, enterprises, and systems in a city to survive, adapt, and develop in the face of chronic or acute shocks. Improvement of vulnerability and adaptability to change is critical to establishing urban resilience as it allows restoration and recovery of basic and essential functions when confronted by a crisis. Hence, promoting urban resilience in environmental, socio-economic, and institutional areas has piqued the interest of the scholars and municipal governments alike for a stronger acceleration through technological capabilities. Hence, assessment of urban resilience requires comprehensive focus towards system-based approaches and social systems which include the natural environment, man-made infrastructure, and governance systems as well as human behavior. Accordingly, the three dimensions, namely people's resilience, places resilience, and institutions resilience, should be seen as a comprehensive illustration of the urban resilience concept. People resilience, which is also known as social resilience or community resilience, refers to people's self organization and skills mobilization to scout for potential opportunities to behave cooperatively in the aftermath of disruption. This necessitates community ties and a sense of community for people to be resilient. Key elements of social resilience include collective self-esteem, that is an attitude of pride in the place where the community lives. The appearance of cities as well as their landscape setting has a significant impact on their ability to recover and prosper in the face of pressures and disruptions. These places resilience include green and blue infrastructure which describe the urban ecosystem and also systems around its structure. Therefore, taking responsibility for the seamless connectedness and resource footprint of cities impacts cities' potential to increase resilience and facilitate sustainable transitions. Key elements of place resilience include robust infrastructure and urban ecosystems. An institution's resilience indicates the process to which an institution evolves through its inclusivity or exclusivity, and networks involving flexible and polycentric institutional processes. Generally, an institution's resilience revolves around its ability to deliver and enhance results over time underpinned by community partnerships and changemaker connections. Global developments creates a complexity of city systems and the uncertainty associated with numerous risks. This leads to pressures and the occurrence of abrupt shocks, leading to physical systems collapse, economic deprivation, or societal disintegration, advocating the importance of resilient cities. This is because the well-being of a city is demonstrated by the interconnected institutions, infrastructure, information, and social system. This is denoted by operability and functionality of the entire ecosystem in the face of multiple unpredicted hazards. According to City Resilience Framework by Rockefeller Foundation, the complexity of cities and the factors that contribute to their resilience are seen from four specific dimensions, namely health and well-being, economy and society, infrastructure and environment, and leadership and strategy. Health and well-being relate to the citizens living and working in a city to minimize underlying human vulnerabilities to reach a level of living that exceeds basic survival, allowing them to deal and cope with unanticipated occurrences. The second dimension is economy and society that focuses on the social and economic systems and the extent to which these two systems are coexisting to ensure peaceful and collaborative life for urban citizens for better living conditions for its communities. The infrastructure and environment dimension focuses on infrastructure and ecosystems and its quality in connecting the entire ecosystem as it becomes vital to the city's operation, especially during times of crisis to handle sudden demand and manage exceptional stresses to restore disrupted services and to continue functioning. The dimension of leadership and strategy aligns between its vision and long-term directions and well integrated with strategies in motivating individuals and communities to act proactively during crisis. According to published literature, resilient cities exhibit specific characteristics which are applicable at the city and individual system levels that are enable them to endure, respond to, and adapt to shocks and pressures more easily, hence being resilient. These characteristics are reflective, resourceful, robust, redundant, flexible, inclusive, and finally integrated. All these digital city characteristics are essential in the formation of resilient cities and citizens. The concept of digital inclusion has gained prominence in policy and research. Rapid digital change, which was already underway before the COVID-19 crisis, complemented by deficiencies in its capabilities during crises, has intensified the prospects for digital inclusion. In our research, we propose that digital inclusion strategy should be based on underlying dimensions of urban resilience, which are people's resilience, places resilience, and also institutions resilience. Therefore, we propose digital citizenship, digital infrastructure, and digital governance as digital inclusion strategies in the formation of urban resilience and resilient digital cities. Acquiring abilities to navigate and survive in an increasingly complicated, digitally mediated environment is what digital citizenship entails. The citizens must have significant access to new technology, information, and communication technologies to become digital citizens. Many events have highlighted the crucial significance of robust digital infrastructure in crisis coordination. In times of crisis, digital connectivity is also vital to city resilience and social resilience. Now, government institutions and other stakeholders are becoming more aware of the critical need of investing in digital infrastructure. Hence, the effort to create digital infrastructure resilience requires interventions from digital infrastructure operators, regulators, and commercial investors to ensure that the appropriateness and effectiveness of digital infrastructure is met. Emerging types of e-government are now increasingly recognized and described as digital era governance that emphasizes modern technology as the main driver. The government is required to determine the appropriate digitalization governance plan based on the country's culture, customs, and economic demands. It will become critical for governments in collaboration with other stakeholders in the industry, academia, NGOs, and the general public to iteratively improve and adapt to digital governance to balance technological gains against the potential for social and environmental disruption and externalities. Transforming into a digital city is a multi-step process that involves the integration of many demands, systems, and partners to create a blueprint that meets the particular needs of each city. In our research, we proposed digital lifestyle, frictionless urban mobility, and robust data foundation as the best practices for digital transformation for resilient cities and citizens formation. Digital transformation and corresponding best practices, including disasters and calamities forecasting systems with warning signs and citizens' involvement through digital platforms, are critical facilitators of resilience. A city cannot digitally become inclusive until it harnesses the potential of the data it generates. A major enabler is a data layer that is backed by solid governance, security procedures, and effective administration. A range of scalable solutions that can perpetuate digital inclusion, which contributes to increased resilience, is seen as other best practices of digital inclusion strategy. We opine that what was lacking is an integrated framework that addresses various constituents of a resilient city and citizens that is relevant in the context of economic, physical, and social disruption. By taking these constituents into account and establishing what leads a city to handle and absorb fast urbanization difficulties, a framework may be built that will guide the formation of resilient cities. With this in mind, there is a clear need for an integrated strategy to create resilient cities and citizens through the promotion of digital inclusion strategy. We propose this integrated framework that tries to address the various ways the cities and citizens can exhibit resilience. This brief overview of the city and citizens' resilience may seem to be insufficient to reach definite conclusions, as the synthesis may not be exhaustive or comprehensive. Nonetheless, this paradigm has the potential to bridge both theory and practice that integrates the knowledge of people, place, and institutional resilience with a concern for the overall well being of the city and its citizens. The suggested framework is also designed to foster discourse among stakeholders who are working to make cities and citizens more resilient. Resilient seeking efforts will always involve a more ongoing process rather than a single point of achievement. Finally, this topic will remain relevant to academics, practitioners, and policymakers for a long time to continuously explore collaborations between cities and citizens. Some of the future pathways in planning a resilient city and citizen may include social innovation enhancement through open dialogue spaces that sparkle discussions, reimagining how existing spaces can be used to inspire radical action for urban resilience, being receptive to new and multifaceted ideas, approaches, and solutions that become essential to build and attain future urban resilience. That this preliminary sharing has provided some insights to all of you in understanding the cities and citizens' resilience. More importantly, viewing it from a digital inclusion strategy. Feel free to collaborate by reaching out to us. Thank you and have a pleasant day.